coming against Miami. So we'll get you underway in a few minutes here on Sports Smash. We're at about the midway point of the NPSL Sunshine Conference season. Players to watch tonight for the Miami Fusion are their leading scorers. Victor Cardosa, the leading scorer in the Sunshine Conference with 5 goals, and David Ochoa, wearing number 10, the second leading scorer in the Sunshine Conference with 3 goals. Excuse me, the second leading scorer on this team, among the leading scorers in the conference. For Boca Raton FC, Shadi Harb, their leading goal scorer with 2 goals, is a player to watch. Also watch young Christopher Pereira getting his first start in NPSL play. Local kid from Coral Springs, number 26. He's on your screen right now, playing up front alongside Junior Pravalas. He'll be playing maybe more out wide. Youngster come out of the Coral Springs United Youth Academy setup, getting his first NPSL start tonight. And we will be underway momentarily here in Aventura, at Ives Estates Park. A stone's throw away from the county line between Broward and Palm Beach counties. This is a perfect location if you're trying to bring in fans from both Broward and Broward and Dade counties, from both Broward and Miami-Dade counties. And not too far from southern Palm Beach County, where Boca Raton FC hails from either. Boca Raton will be going left to right. Right to left in the first half. Miami Fusion, left to right. You see Cardosa, number 11, on your screen. He is the leading goal scorer in this conference, as we mentioned earlier. Bona fide superstar player in this league, and Boca Raton gets us underway. Couple touches on the ball. And here is Felipe Ferreira. Lorenzo Cava had a great game the other day, number 19, against Miami United in APSL action. Both Miami United and Boca Raton FC competing in another competition. APSL, Lorenzo Cava, number 19, in central midfield, was very influential that day. Here's Jason Fitzgerald playing a long ball forward, looking for Justin Wilbanks, who's playing in a more advanced position today, playing right wide midfield. Wilbanks fighting for that ball with Suazo, and he wins the throw-in for Boca Raton early on. Here's the throw-in. Fitzgerald appears to have stepped over the end line, over the line, and it will be a throw-in for Miami United. Hot, humid day here in southeast Florida. Thunderstorms have stayed away, at least from this part of town. Here's a high press from Boca Raton, and a little bit of trouble for the Miami Fusion to get the ball out of the back. Here's Cardosa, dispossessed by Eduardo Cruz. Here's Gabriel Bravo on the ball for Boca Raton, the left back. See on your screen number 11 Cardosa, number 10 Ochoa. Those are the 2 superstar players for this Miami Fusion team, at least in terms of goal scoring. And Ochoa takes it away. Ochoa plays in Cardosa. Cardosa moves away from goal, but a save by Tavares. That looked very dangerous. Takeaway by Ochoa on a high press. Let's watch this replay. Nicely done by Ochoa. He sucks into defense. Cardosa takes maybe a heavy touch, pushed outside. He scored a goal in each of the last 5 games he's played in, and he was looking for an early one here. Here's a ball in the area. Cardosa, nice nifty move. Here's Godoy. Godoy beats his defender, but ultimately can't put that ball in the mixer. And the ball is cleared for a throw-in. You'll see the Miami Fusion in this 4-3-3 formation they like to play with Cardosa, with Ochoa, and with Stamatas pushing forward, pressing high up the pitch very often, creating turnovers and quick changes of possession, which are difficult to defend. Ball floating around in the area, finally cleared by Boca Raton, but it's coming back the other way again. Here's Godoy. Godoy loses possession, and Pereira draws a foul. Good job by Christopher Pereira, the youngster, making his first NPSL start. Gets away, draws the contact. Chance for Boca Raton to regain their breath. It's been a little bit of a frenzy the last few minutes after a decent start to this game for the away team. Here's Cava laying it off for Harb. Shadi Harb, the leading goal scorer for Boca Raton FC this season. There's Harb, fouled by Ochoa. Back to live action now. Here's Wilbanks. Tried to play Pereira in, it's cleared. Nice idea there, though, by Justin Wilbanks, the young man from Wellington, Florida. Here's Stamatas. Stamatas laid it off for Godoy. Good job by Shadi Harb taking that ball away. But now Harb is dispossessed by Alvarez. And a foul. Godoy was going nowhere, but Cava was deemed to have elbowed him in the back, which appears to be the correct call. Now the ball's back with Boca Raton. Cava lays it off for Fitzgerald, who tries to play a through ball. It's deflected, but gets the ball back. Ferreira's going to marshal that back to Tavares. Leo Tavares, a bit of an adventurous goalkeeper. He comes off his line a lot. One of the new breed of sweeper keepers, like a Hugo Lloris or a Manuel Neuer, if you watch European football. Lloris, of course, had a howler for France last week against Sweden, coming well off his line, getting beat at the death, giving Sweden the 3 points in that critical World Cup qualifier in Stockholm. France and Sweden now tied atop the table in that group. The country that does not win that group is going to have to go to a playoff. So France, one of the potential favorites for next summer's World Cup, now in a little bit of trouble in qualifying. Boca Raton has the ball. Here's Cruz. Tried to play Pereira in. It falls to Wilbanks, who scores a screamer. Justin Wilbanks from outside the area. How about that? Takes a wicked deflection, heads up play by Wilbanks to just put that past the keeper who was off his line, and Boca Raton with the early goal. Justin Wilbanks' first goal of the NPSL season. He's had a few goals in other competitions for Boca Raton this season, but his first goal in NPSL play. Playing in a more advanced position than he normally does. Wilbanks, naturally a right back. Cheerson, the Boca Raton FC coach, Brazilian legend, Flamengo, Juventus, etc. in his playing days, rolling the dice and playing Wilbanks forward, and it pays off early in the 8th minute. Boca Raton with a 1-0 lead. Now Miami trying to recover that goal. Here's Wilbanks, the goal scorer, to Harb. Harb to Fitzgerald. Jason Fitzgerald with a cross in the area. Was looking for Junior Pervalis, didn't quite get there. Good read by the keeper. Now the high press for Boca Raton creates a turnover. It's amazing what a goal will do for you. Fusion looking out of sorts at the back. Here's Cardosa. Makes a move, draws a foul. That will give Boca Raton, that will give the Fusion a bit of a breather. Lorenzo Cava called for that foul. Put back in play. So Miami hasn't had to play from behind a whole lot this season. The one game they did fall behind in against Crazy United up in Orlando or up in Winter Park, the Orlando area, they were beaten in. So, and that's their only loss on the season. The only game they've dropped points in fact. We saw Beaches FC Thursday night knock on the door for much of the first half, not get a breakthrough, and then Cardosa get a goal somewhat against the run of play in first half stoppage time, and Miami was able to see out the game from there. But now, the Fusion will have to regroup or just try and chip away at this. An experienced team, a lot of match winners in this side. Here's Ochoa, one of those match winners. And that will be saved by Tavares. And it looks like we're going to have a corner here. In the area, it is cleared. Well, that strike from Justin Wilbanks is an early candidate for goal of the week in NPSL. Sunshine Conference fans, let the league know how you feel about that one. Long way to go in this game, though. There's Pereira, plays it back to Tavares. He's going to put that ball back in the air. Here's Pereira, the youngster, getting his first NPSL start. He's looked lively thus far. Played that behind Junior Provalis, though. Ball played in the direction of Cardosa, but Boca Raton comes up with it. Nifty little back heel. Bravo tried to play it to Pereira, but it was out of play, and it'll be a throw-in for Miami. We're in the 12th minute at Ives Estates Park in Aventura. Homestanding Miami Fusion, first place in the NPSL Sunshine Conference, have fallen behind Boca Raton FC. Here, an early strike, 7th minute, from Justin Wilbanks, giving Boca Raton the lead. Here's Jason Fitzgerald playing Wilbanks, the goal scorer, in perhaps. Nope. And it'll be a corner. It'll be a goal kick. Reminder, you can watch NPSL Sunshine Conference action all season long on Sports Mesh TV. Whether you're watching on your smartphone, your Roku device, your iPad, Android device, whatever, you can watch us on Sports Mesh. Or, of course, your laptop and your television also. Most NPSL Sunshine Conference action on all season long on Sports Mesh. And the flag was up. Ochoa made a run, but was a step offside. Here's Lorenzo Cava for Boca Raton. Fitzgerald. Now Justin Wilbanks, once again, with a head of steam, plays in Provalis. Here's an opportunity for Boca Raton, potentially. Provalis wins a corner. Boca Raton looking much more spirited and a lot more confident than in their last NPSL outing in Jacksonville, where they were beat 4-0. Here's the replay, Provalis, and it was deflected, and it will be a corner. Christopher Pereira will take it. Pereira, in swinger. Opportunity at the back post, but Pravalos couldn't control it. By the way, we're right by the train tracks here. That's the Tri-Rail train, the commuter rail, the Miami, Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach area, whisking by. If you've watched Fusion games before from this locale, you'll hear the trains going by several times during the game. Godoy going to make this throw in for Miami. Here's Ochoa. Ochoa crosses it. Here's Ochoa. And he scores. Ochoa, fourth goal. Or was it Ochoa? I have to look at that again. I thought it was Ochoa, but lost sight of the ball for a second. Here's Ochoa. No, he played in his teammate. And it's 1-1 now in the 15th minute. Good finish. Boca Raton defense a bit late getting there. So it's 1-1 now. I've had an exciting first 15 minutes here. Pereira. Here's Bravo. Ajamobi. Ajamobi, very versatile player for Boca Raton. Signed 3 weeks ago, and I've already seen him play 3 or 4 different positions. We almost got hit in our broadcast location a minute ago. That's how close to the field we are here at Ives Estates Park. And it'll be a throw-in. Godoy will take it for Miami. Here is Cardosa, leading goal scorer in the NPSL Sunshine Conference, a player of great pedigree, played with the Fort Lauderdale Strikers NPSL side last year, the Fort Lauderdale Strikers reserve team. Obviously, their first team is an NASL side. Before that, with Real Monarchs in the USL. Also spent some time with the reserves of the Seattle Sounders. Seattle, by the way, lost today to New York City FC 2-1 in MLS action. They are not having a good season. But the beautiful thing about MLS, if you're not playing well, is it seems like everybody gets into the playoffs, right? Or half the teams get in, so over half the teams get in. So they still have hope. And that's what happened, of course, last season. Seattle didn't play very well, and they still made the playoffs. It will be a throw-in. And here's Ochoa. See the replay there? Yeah, clear clip. Boca Raton again trying to win the ball back in an advanced position. And you see behind us I-95 and some beautiful landscaping. Here's Ochoa. Ajamobi with the clearance, and it'll be a throw-in for Miami. Well, the Miami Fusion got an equalizer just a few minutes ago to cancel out Wilbank's goal early, Wilbank's spectacular effort early in the match. And so if you're the Miami Fusion, you're looking to push on, get all 3 points here, and go 5 points clear, at least temporarily, of Miami United atop the NPSL Sunshine Conference table. Only one team from the Sunshine Conference makes the national postseason tournament in NPSL. So you win the conference or your season ends. It's taken away. Pereira heads it forward. Bravo fighting for that. Eduardo Cruz is deemed to have fouled Miami Fusion player there. Not quite sure what that call is. And Alvarez is going to take this free kick and put it back into play. Alvarez doesn't take it. His teammate takes it. harmlessly drifts beyond the goal. Here's Pereira. Heads it back into the middle of the field. Lorenzo Cava wins that. Had a little bit of a head of steam, but good defending there. Shadi Harb wins it for Boca Raton. And Harb is going to try and play either a cross or a shot. I'm not quite sure what that was, but it took a deflection. Went off the Miami defender. Ferreira plays it back to his keeper, Leo Tavares. A little bit of a dangerous and here's an open goal for Stanislas. For some reason, he didn't take advantage of the opportunity. It was an odd decision by Ferreira to play the ball back to his keeper, but safety first, and then Leo Tavares made a bit of a hash out of it, backpedaled, then didn't clear it well. Not sure why Stanislas didn't put the shot right on goal with the keeper off the line. Look, that's the danger with some of these sweeper keepers, that they get a little cute with their feet. And Tavares got lucky there, but the score remains 1-1. We're in the 20th minute at Ives Estate Parks in Aventura, Florida. NPSL Sunshine Conference action on Sports Mesh. My name is Carter Krishnaier. Miami Fusion, the league leaders, the conference leaders, playing at home to Boca Raton FC. We're 1-1 through 20 minutes here. This has been a good game if you're just tuning in. Not just the 2 goals, but some good midfield action, high pressing from both sides. Kind of entertaining football we like to see here on a Saturday afternoon in South Florida. Another ball here almost hits our broadcast location. And Gabriel Bravo is going to throw this in for Boca Raton. Bravo. Here's Prevalis. Oh, well done. Good defending. It is going to be a corner for Boca Raton. Here comes the corner. Ball in the air, right to the keeper, Oshanat. Oshanat's a solid pair of hands back there for Miami Fusion. Seen him a few times this season. Doesn't get the accolades maybe of some of his teammates with this first place team, but he's been solid between the pipes. Here's a ball into Cardosa, who has beaten Pereira. Cardosa puts a shot on goal and scores. 6 goals in 6 games for Victor Cardosa. The leading goal scorer in the NPSL Sunshine Conference has done it again, and he's given Miami a 2-1 lead. They broke quickly. Good ball. Pereira, who normally is not a defender, gets caught in no man's land because, of course, this is coming off of a goal kick. Blown assignment there that he had to track the runner. Somebody in the Boca Raton midfield did not track Cardosa, and that's a no-no when you've got a potent goal scorer that's this good. So it's his 6th game of the NPSL Sunshine Conference season. He missed a game, and he has 6 goals. And every single game he's played in, by the way, Miami has won. So that's not a great omen for Boca Raton. Every game he's played in, he's scored in, and the Miami Fusion have won. One game he missed with an injury against Crazy United, the Fusion were beat. So Miami fell behind early to that spectacular strike from Justin Wilbanks, but have answered twice. And now Ochoa draws a foul. They just keep coming at you, this Miami Fusion team. They score goals against the run of play. They score goals on the counterattack. They score goals on set pieces. And they score some good goals in open play. Just a complete team going forward. There are deficiencies at the back, though, which we've seen at times in this NPSL Sunshine Conference season. We saw again on Boca Raton's goal by Wilbanks. Defensive error. Keeper off his line. Wilbanks, clean strike, beats Ashanat. Now Miami pressing high. The Fusion looking for a third goal before halftime that would be maybe a backbreaker psychologically for Boca. Here's Alvarez. Lays it off to Godoy. Godoy makes a move. Plays it back to his defense. Boca Raton pressing high, but that's going to be a foul on Shadi Harb. Just a moment late there. On Videla. So chance for everybody to catch their breath. A reminder, we'll have more NPSL Sunshine Conference action for you tomorrow on Sports Mesh as Miami United, Miami Fusion's big rival, host Beaches FC, and that is a critical game, especially given the scoreline for Miami United if they want to continue their quest to repeat as NPSL Sunshine Conference champions. The Fusion could go 5 points clear today, but Miami United would have that game in hand. As for Boca Raton, they have a game in hand and 3 matches left against those two teams, but they're going to need to turn this score line around if they want to keep their NPSL Sunshine Conference title hopes realistically alive. Here's a ball for Jason Fitzgerald, who's made an overlapping run on the right side. Draws a throw-in. Nice work from Fitz there, getting forward. Fitzgerald throws it in. Cava tried to lay it off for Pereira. Pereira didn't get there in time, and now Miami has regained possession. See Cardosa stepping back, trying to link up with his teammates. This formation Coach Ferdy plays for Miami requires a lot of running from the 3 attacking players. So you'll see Cardosa and Ochoa in particular pop up in spots where they need to drop back to link up. But good free-flowing football often from the Miami Fusion. Here's Fitzgerald. Lays it off Pravalis. Dispossessed there. Now Miami coming the other way. And he is onside. Flag is down. Plays it across the face of goal, but Cardosa is not able to get there. Another defensive let-off for Boca Raton, but they get away with that one, and it'll be a goal kick. You see Leo Tavares, the goalkeeper, has played every minute of the NPSL Sunshine Conference season for Boca Raton. Boca Raton likes to play the ball out of the back, but against a high-pressing team like the Fusion, sometimes it may not be the wisest course of action. Here's Jason Fitzgerald. Finds Eduardo Cruz. Fitzgerald plays it off of Miami United defender. It'll be a throw-in. Ball has disappeared into that rough. That rough is thicker than some of the rough at the U.S. Open. If you're watching the U.S. Open at Erin Hills links course up in Wisconsin, near Lake Michigan. The rough on the set behind the benches here might even be thicker. Here's Cava. Adjamobi. Shadi Harb tucking back, trying to link up. Gets it to Pereira. Bravo. And here's Harb. Boca Raton FC without their captain, Bruno Malitz, tonight. My understanding is he should be back for their game next week against Miami United, which, by the way, will be the NPSL game of the week. So looking forward to bringing that to you next week here on Sports Mesh. And it's a throw-in. Around the world of football, all the talk right now is about Cristiano Ronaldo and whether his tax problems will lead him to leave Real Madrid. Ronaldo and Portugal will play Mexico tomorrow in the Confederations Cup in Russia. That tournament to host Russia in front of President Vladimir Putin and about 60,000 other fans defeated New Zealand 2-0, the opener in Group A play in St. Petersburg. Stanislas is offside. So Boca Raton trying to counter the long balls from Miami Fusion by pulling up and playing an offside trap. It's now worked 2 successive times. Will Banks tries to play in Fitzgerald, who had made an overlapping run but can't connect with him. Another ball forward and another offside. Ochoa this time is called offside. Boca Raton, 3rd successive time they played that offside trap. It's beginning to work. Ochoa, Cardosa, and the other Miami attackers may need to check their runs. Here's Pervalis, who's tripped. That's a foul. Good job by the striker from Boca Raton to tuck back. Adamajobi plays it back. Well, we're going to retake this, and it's going to be Shadi Harb. Here's Harb. That ball is going to drift harmlessly away. Not his best effort. And it'll be a goal kick for Oceanat. Ball is in the air from Oceanat. Another offside. And we have free kick for Boca Raton. We are in the 32nd minute in Aventura, Florida. The Miami Fusion, conference leaders, leading Boca Raton 2-1. My name's Carter Krishnaiyer. This is Sports Mesh TV, and we're bringing you NPSL Sunshine Conference action as we do throughout the NPSL season. Here's Lorenzo Cava for Boca Raton, lays it off for Shadi Harb. Back to Cava. Cava is a player that is very good box to box with the ball at his feet. Kind of your classic number 6 or number 8 who will pick up the ball deep, more of a number 8, and run at the defense. That's the first time he's gotten a chance to do that today. Miami's been very good in denying him service. Good ball in the air in the direction of Ochoa. He's not able to get to it. Leo Tavares is able to collect and redistribute for Boca Raton. That ball will go out of play. Will be a throw-in for Miami. And here comes the throw-in. Ball is played back, and we're going to have a foul. Check that. Here's the layoff. Ochoa played it back. And you see the foul. So it'll be a free kick in a dangerous position for the Miami Fusion. Ochoa and Alvarez appear ready to stand over this ball. We'll see which one of them take it. Boca Raton setting up a two-man wall. This will be an in-swinger. Pereira and Cruz in that wall. Cruz wearing the captain's armband tonight for Boca Raton in the absence of Bruno Militz. And here's Alvarez. He's going to step into it. That was not an in-swinger. Expected an in-swinger instead. Tried to put a shot on target from that tight angle, and it drifts away for a goal kick. That didn't really threaten Tavares' goal. Tavares played it out for Cava. Now here's Shadi Harb. Plays it to Wilbanks. Justin Wilbanks tries to play in Pravalis, but wins a, wow, it's going to be a goal kick. Okay. It appeared that had taken a deflection, but we'll admit that's the furthest point in the field from our broadcast location. So it's going to be a goal kick for Oceanat. Quick goal kick. And another attempt to play a long ball over the top of the Boca Raton defense. It's funny, since Miami got that 2-1 lead, they've been content trying to play in their attackers on long balls and have been caught with offside 4 different occasions. The patient buildup we saw, which got them, built them the 2-1 lead after falling behind 1-0. We're not seeing anymore from the Miami Fusion, interestingly enough. Here's the throw-in. Ajinomobi and Ferreira plays it out. Be a throw-in. It's a ball into the mixer, headed away. Harb is unable to collect it for Boca Raton, and we're going the other way now. 37th minute, NPSL Sunshine Conference action on Sports Mesh. My name is Carter Krishnaier. We've got the homestanding Miami Fusion, top of the conference, leading Boca Raton FC 2-1. Big game as we are at the midway point now in the second half of the season for Miami Fusion. This is the midway point for Boca Raton FC. They have a game in hand. The games are becoming more and more important as the season wears on. There's a throw-in for the Fusion. Ochoa lays it off. Videla. Now Ochoa. And that will be a corner. Good save from Tavares. This is the first save Tavares has had to make. First shot on target, which he's had an opportunity to save. Palms it over the crossbar. Good job from the Boca Raton FC goalkeeper. Here's a corner from Alvarez. Ochoa settles it, but it's taken away in a Boca Raton FC counterattacking opportunity. Pereira plays a ball towards Pravalis. Doesn't reach him, though. And we're coming back the other way. Taken away. Here's Harb. Not quite sure where Shadi Harb was playing that ball, but there was no teammate in sight and no one making a run into the space where he played it, and it drifted out for a Miami throw-in. Now we're going back the other way for Boca Raton. Here's Cava for Ferreira. Cruz. Ajinomobi. Gabriel Bravo. Everybody in the Boca Raton half getting a touch. But Bravo almost loses possession. Now he does lose possession. Victor Cardoso wins the throw-in for the Miami Fusion. You cannot play with the ball in your own half the way Boca Raton just did against a high-pressing team unless you move it with a little more pace. And I'm sure that will be a talking point of Achirson at halftime with his team in the dressing room, because that is just inviting a high-pressing team and players like Ochoa and Cardosa who like to press high to try and win the ball, and in that case they did. Tavares comes off his line and punches it away. Again, Tavares, one of those new breed of sweeper keepers. And he's a young man. He's only 18 years old, so he's learned to play with his feet as much as he has with his hands. That's the way goalkeeping is being taught now. There's Alvarez, the captain. Played it back to Suazo. Stantislas. Alvarez is going to play it back to Ashanat. Or play, now it's going to reach Ashanat. Touch the Miami player on the way, but the Fusion will reset here. No rush, they've got a 2-1 lead. I must say they don't look terribly comfortable in possession, even with that 2-1 lead, but they are good pressing high. And here's an opportunity. Cardosa lays it off for Ochoa, who puts it through the goalpost. We have football lines and a football field goal goalposts here, and it would have been 3 points if it was another sport. Some confusion at the back for Boca Raton. Now I've seen this consistent, and here we could go again. Here's Cardosa. That's 2 for him. 7 goals in 6 games for Victor Cardosa, the leading goal scorer in the NPSL Sunshine Conference, and it's now 3-1. Miami leads. And Boca Raton at the back has to sort things out. I've seen a number of their games now this season where there's just their communications issues. Now here's Cava trying to play it to Cruz casually. Tavares trying to build out of the back. Tavares goes the wrong way, is wrong-footed, and it's about as easy a finish as Cardoso is going to have. So he has 2 goals now, 7 on the season, and it's 3-1 as we approach halftime. I was going to say a moment ago, Boca Raton's having a lot of problems sorting out long balls as well at the back. Communications issues between their defender and their goalkeeper, their defenders and their goalkeeper. So all of those are talking points and teaching points at halftime. And we're going the other way again. And that will be a throw-in for the Miami Fusion. When a team high presses, we said this about 10 minutes ago, as the Miami Fusion do, you cannot be so casual playing the ball out of the back the way Boca Raton has. And you can watch any game in Europe, any game in South America, you'll see a result like this when a team is not quick in how they move the ball at the back. And that's a foul by Ajinomobi. Might be a booking. Referee it appears like he's not reaching for his pocket anymore. Maybe a frustration foul. So the other option when you're facing a high-pressing team is to get the ball out into wide areas quickly or to just play long balls. Let's see if Boca Raton makes an adjustment in the second half and does that. And here comes a free kick. Two-man wall for Boca Raton. It goes into that wall. That wall did its job. Bravo tries to play towards Cava, but Alvarez clears it. And it'll be a throw-in. Give Boca Raton a chance to regain their composure here. And that's a casual giveaway again. Again, Boca Raton, you got to move the ball quicker if a team is pressing high. Suazo was closing down the space. Choa was closing down the space very quickly there, and Boca was just trying to casually pass through it. This is kind of football 101. Harb tries to play in Pereira. Now we've seen this if you've watched the Premier League, for example, and teams like Spurs under Mauricio Pochettino and Liverpool under Jurgen Klopp, when they press high and you have teams that are trying to play out of the back, like Pep Guardiola's Manchester City, get caught in these sorts of situations that you've seen Boca Raton in today. And that's a situation where Guardiola then eventually had to get more pragmatic with how he set up his team. Anyway, Boca Raton trying to close to half strong here. Here's Harb. Harb plays the ball into the area. Provalis has an opportunity. Great save by Oshanat. Oshanat felt like Provalis had fouled him. Good cross from Harb. And Provalis isn't able to provide the finish. Look, referees judge keepers differently than they judge field players, so maybe that's why Oshanat felt like he should get some protection there. But from where I sit, that was pretty good aggressive play from Provalis, trying to get his team back into the game. We're in first half stoppage time. Miami, the conference leaders, leading 3-1. Godoy lays it off for Alvarez. Miami might be content to just take the air out of this ball, get to halftime with the score 3-1. Boca Raton, by the way, gave up 7 goals in about 90 minutes of action, NPSL action, between the 4 goals they gave up from minute 40 onward in Jacksonville and the 3 in the first half today. And here's another chance. Stanislas beats Tavares, who was well off his line, but it hits off the crossbar. Another let-off for Boca Raton defensively. Stanislas, nice little cheeky chip. Tavares wasn't trying to backpedal and get back on his line. I'm not sure if he's going to try and come out and challenge the attacking player. Boca Raton fortunate to get away with that one. Here's Cruz to Bravo. Bravo might just shift this ball forward, and that's it. Halftime in Aventura with the conference-leading Miami Fusion ahead 3-1 against Boca Raton FC. A brace from leading scorer Victor Cardosa. He's got 7 in 6 games now in this NPSL Sunshine Conference season. We're going to go to a commercial, see some first-half highlights, and be back with you at the beginning of the second half. And we're underway in the second half. Stanislas lays it off to Cardoso, who is looking for a hat trick. He's on a brace currently. Back heel from Cardoso doesn't come off. And now Ochoa. Junior Provales clears it, and that is still going to be a throw-in. Doesn't look like either team has made a change, but we'll keep you posted on substitutions. So ball into the area and deflects harmlessly away for a goal kick. So Miami with the first effort of the second half. Here's Leo Tavares, goalkeeper for Boca Raton. Boca Raton has conceded 7 goals in their last 95 minutes of play in NPSL Sunshine Conference action going back to last week in Jacksonville. Something that I'm certain that Cheerson, the head coach, was looking to sort out at halftime. Here's a long ball forward. And it's going to be a throw-in. The Fusion did very well with high pressing in the first half as well as long balls for part of the first half. Then had a succession of 4 successive offside calls that went against them on long ball attempts to play past Boca Raton's high line. Boca Raton is a team that likes to play out of the back, and that's difficult to do against a high pressing side unless you move the ball a little quicker than they move the ball. So very good, solid first half from the Miami Fusion. And we mentioned the first half. Every game Cardoso has played in, the Fusion have won this year. Every game he scored in, they've won. Here's Justin Wilbanks in space. He was the goal scorer in the first half. Wilbanks isn't able to get that shot off. Here's Gabriel Cruz. Carlos Meneses has checked in for Boca Raton. So there has been a change for Boca Raton at halftime. I believe Christopher Pereira has come off. I don't see him on the pitch. So it's going to be a free kick for Boca Raton. So that's the one change we know about. The Fusion look an unchanged side. This might be a cramp. The way he's sitting. We still have this injury. Reminder, you can watch NPSL Sunshine Conference action all season long on Sports Mesh TV. Tomorrow night we've got Miami United hosting Beaches FC. That's a big game for Miami United. If the Fusion hold on to this lead, they will be 5 points clear with only 5 matches left. And that will be a game in a hand for Miami United. They will have 6 matches left. They will probably need to win that game to keep pace. That game at 10 Hendrick Stadium. Start time 7 o'clock here on Sports Mesh. And here's Shadi Harb ready to take this free kick. Now this could be an in-swinger. There's a two-man wall for Miami. Alvarez and Ochoa in the wall. Harb instead elects to put it on target, and Ashanat makes an easy save. So that's a potentially missed opportunity for Boca Raton. Wasn't struck with that much pace or power by Harb, but he did beat the wall. Of course, if you're going to put it on target, you are going to beat that two-man wall. The two-man wall set up to try and prevent a dangerous in-swinger. Now here is a Boca Raton opportunity. Harb on the ball, loses control, and it drifts away harmlessly for a goal kick. Ashanat puts the ball in the air. Here's Meneses. Lays it off for Bravo. And Ochoa now in possession for Miami. Good ball in the area. Hat-trick opportunity for Cardosa, but Tavares makes the save. Now plays it out quickly. Here's Meneses. Provalis, who's pushed into a wide position. Provalis, who hadn't got much service in the first half, but a couple touches there, and flag was up, I believe. Shadi Harb had drifted into an offside position, or excuse me, Lorenzo Cava had drifted into an offside position. Now that's interesting. So Cardosa tried to go high. Oh, that was the second save for Leo Tavares. Back to Ashanat. Wilbanks now trying to press high. Looks like Boca Raton is going to try and mimic Miami's high press. And they win the ball with Ferreira, who had stepped up. Here's Shadi Harb. Wins it. Muscled off the ball. No Kyle Videla wins that for the Fusion, and we're coming back the other way. Here's Meneses. Ashanat. Here's Cardosa. Plays it back. Nice ball. Stanislas. Laid it off for Godoy, but Boca Raton wins the ball. Playing it forward now. Cava lays it off for Provalis, who's tucked deeper in this second half. Starved of service in the first. Here's Shadi Harb in an attacking position, and he puts it through the goalpost. That would have been a field goal in another sport, but doesn't work quite here. Harb cutting a bit of a frustrated figure. It's going to be a goal kick. Long ball forward, no one home. Tavares plays it out to Ajanobi. Ajanobi up for. Here's Bravo. It's cleared. And Ochoa wins the throw-in for Miami. Cava. Here's Cava on the ball again to Harb. Cruz plays a ball toward Wilbanks in the area. Now Wilbanks trying to get on the end of it. Justin Wilbanks has gone all the way forward in the second half for Boca Raton, and it seems like Junior Prevalis has drifted back into a midfield position. Quick change of possession here. Guarano. Here's Guarano. Again, like a tank, putting it forward to Alvarez. But Tavares gets there and resets for Boca Raton. Here's Wilbanks. Fitzgerald.
Offer the switch.
Harb lays it off for Cava. Here's Harb. Prevalis. Quick turn. Cava lost it there. Now he gets it back. And Elshanot is not going to be bothered by this. Can reset. Tries to play a long ball forward. Cardosa almost gets to it.
Call for the switch.
It's going to be a throw-in for Boca Raton. Jason Fitzgerald. Boca Raton making a change. Ferreira coming off. And we'll check who that is coming on in a minute. Back underway. John Contreras has come on for Boca Raton in place of Felipe Ferreira. Boca Raton probably going three at the back the rest of the way. That's a midfielder for a defender. Here's Wilbanks. Alvarez closing him down. Meneses plays it back to Fitzgerald.
Hit it. Down the line.
Here's Wilbanks. Cuts inside. Shields the ball well. Cruz is fouled. Be a free kick for Boca Raton. Alvarez called for the foul there. Here's Fitzgerald for Boca Raton. Lays it off for Wilbanks. Nice little 1-2 back to Fitzgerald. Plays across for Prevalis. Doesn't connect with it cleanly. Back to Lorenzo Cava, reselling it for Boca Raton. Being closed down by Godoy for the Miami Fusion. And we're going to have a foul, and we're going the other way. So the Fusion will regain possession. We are in the 61st minute here in Aventura, Florida. Sports Mesh TV, your destination for NPSL Sunshine Conference action all season long. The conference leading Miami Fusion leading Boca Raton FC 3-1. Victor Cardosa, leading goal scorer in the league, has a brace tonight. So he has 7 goals this afternoon, I should say. 7 goals in 6 games. Be a throw-in for the Fusion. Oh no, it's a throw-in for Boca Raton. No. It is a Fusion throw-in. Some confusion here. I guess it was a Boca Raton throw-in just from a different point. Here's Provalis laying it off for Cruz. Harb gets knocked off the ball. Was looking for a foul call, didn't get it. We're coming back the other way. Ball is lofted in the direction of Ochoa, but cleared away. We had a great first half here, end-to-end stuff, but second half has been a slow starter. It's a bit of a slow burn this second half, first 15 minutes or so. Godoy is going to take this throw-in. And here comes another throw-in. Godoy once again. Here's Cardosa, lays it off. Boca Raton wins possession though. Meneses coming the other way. Meneses plays in Cava. Contreras. Sorry, that was Meneses, and he's taken down. Boca Raton appears to be preparing a third substitution. Here's Cava in the direction of Wilbanks. Wilbanks crossing the area. Doesn't find a teammate. This Miami Fusion team played just 48 hours ago, or less than 48 hours ago in Stewart in a game that was weather delayed. They won that game 2-0. Impressively, they've rotated their squad. Here's Ochoa. They've impressively rotated their squad for this match and still lead 3-1. Anjanamobi did very well there to get forward. And there's a foul. We're going to have another substitute for Boca Raton and one for Miami. Here was that run from Anjanamobi. Nice attempted step-over move. But it was a surging run from the back. We'll check on these changes for you in a minute. Fitzgerald clears it, and it will be a corner for Miami. Lots going on in the world of soccer currently. Confederations Cup we talked about earlier in the first half. We talked about UEFA European qualifying in the first half, the France-Sweden game where Hugo Lloris made a catastrophic error that gave Sweden a victory. We also have Major League Soccer and our other pro leagues in the United States playing currently. And earlier today in MLS, New York City FC defeated Seattle 2-1. Here's Alvarez. And of course, we have perhaps a saga involving Cristiano Ronaldo and where he might transfer from Real Madrid because of tax issues in Spain to follow all summer. If you thought you were going to have the summer off, if you're a fan of European football, European club football, the silly season has begun. Big move earlier this week, Jordan Pickford, the young English goalkeeper, moving from Sunderland to Everton for about $30 million. Another move I actually liked was Harry Maguire, moving from Hull City, who were relegated, to Leicester City, the champions of England 2 seasons ago, of course, for about £20 million. That was a good move for Leicester, under-the-radar signing. Here's Boca Raton. Daniel Pena, number 14, is checked in for them. He was just on the ball a minute ago. Here's Meneses. Giveaway here. And here comes Cardoso. Well, Bravo snuffed that out that time. Contreras to Meneses, who appears to have had some contact in the head. And we have a stoppage. Harb returns the ball to Miami Fusion. Sporting gesture there by the Fusion. Sporting gesture there by Boca Raton, I should say. Fusion. And we'll have a throw-in. You know, a stoppage in a game that was as open as our game in the first half isn't always the best thing. We've come back from halftime and have had fewer opportunities, fewer moments of pure quality in the second half than we did in maybe any 5-minute interval of that first half. Really kind of surprising what happens. Flow of the game has just not been there in the second half for either team. Now here's a layoff. Cardoso's played in. He's on a brace looking for a hat trick. Nothing much comes of that. Here's Justin Wilbanks for Boca Raton, coming the other way. Wilbanks tries to play a solo run. He plays Harb in. Harb tries to chip the keeper, and Wilbanks is there for the finish, continues his run, and he's got a brace himself now, Justin Wilbanks. Boca Raton back in this game. Great solo effort here from Wilbanks. Look at how he keeps his ball in play, takes on 3 defenders, splits the defenders here. It's laid off for Harb. He continues his run. Harb probably should have taken that shot earlier, but he does place a nice cross, lofts it in the area. Wilbanks wanted it more. He scores. He's got a brace today, the young man from Wellington, Florida, who spent some of his formative years in Australia. Actually had a tryout from West Ham United, a Premier League team. So there we go. Lamenting the second half and lack of quality, but now Wilbanks has gotten his second of the game, and it's 3-2. Boca Raton back in this. And that might wake up Miami. Stanislas was looking to attack, and here comes Boca Raton the other way. Alvarez to Stanislas. And he beats Tavares to the near post. What a finish from Stanislas. And the conference leaders once again show why they're on top in this NPSL Sunshine Conference. Boca Raton chasing an equalizer. Harb with a bad giveaway. Ball comes the other way. Boca Raton playing with only 3 at the back. And it's 4-2 now in the 70th minute. We're back underway. There's Meneses to Provalis. The openness of this game we saw in the first half has now been reprised here in just the last 3 or 4 minutes after a sluggish, slow start to the second half. Here's Alvarez. Plays it to Cardosa. Here's Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald gets caught in possession. Loses the ball. Here's Stanislas. Tries to play a Cardosa in for the hat trick, and it's cleared. Fitzgerald got caught in possession there on Miami pressing high once again. Nobody came to help him. Gave the ball away, but then Boca Raton was positioned well defensively to recover, which we haven't seen necessarily earlier in the game with some of their giveaways.
Call more for the switch.
So it's 4-2 Miami in the 72nd minute NPSL Sunshine Conference action here on Sports Mesh. Carter Krishna are with you. John Contreras bringing it forward for Boca Raton. We have a brace from Victor Cardosa, the leading goal scorer in the NPSL Sunshine Conference for Miami United. He now has 7 goals on the season. And Justin Wilbanks has a brace for Boca Raton, scored both their goals. Playing in a more advanced position, normally a right back at Cheerson, looking for goals for a team that's been struggling recently. Has pushed Wilbanks, one of his better players, forward today, and he's rewarded his manager's confidence with 2 goals. And there he is on the ball now. Lays it off for Harb. Harb had Prevalis there for a minute, hesitated to play him in. And that's going to be a foul. Ochoa down. David Ochoa has done a lot of running the last 48 hours. We're going to have a booking also for Boca Raton here. Such an impressive player every time I've seen him with the Fusion this year. Cho will come off since he got some assistance. He'll be right back on. Sorting things out here. As you see the Boca Raton bench, here comes the free kick. Videla will take this. Puts it into midfield. No one home there. Meneses coming the other way for Boca Raton. If Boca can get a goal by minute 80, it could be interesting here down the stretch. 4-2 the score. Prevalis couldn't get to that. And here comes another. And another foul here. Boca Raton looks prepared to make another substitution. It'll be Henrique Nogemi coming on. Nogemi comes on for Prevalis in the 76th minute, so Boca Raton changing their play up front. Nojemi, a more direct player. Potentially, he'll probably sit centrally. We've seen Prevalos playing out wide in the second half. Here's Alvarez. There's a foul there. And Meneses has gone down. And we have a little bit of argy-bargy here. Guarano came in late there. Certainly a foul. See if the referee decides to take any further action. Calling the player over. And it is a sending off. It is a red card. We'll have to see that again to see if that is a justified call. Let's see. Loses possession, heavy touch. Oh, so there was the challenge on Meneses, and then there was an effort to hit Harb in the back. I think that's a bit harsh, quite frankly. I'm not quite sure that that's justified red. Maybe perhaps it was 2 yellows. But I just saw a red card come out. So let's watch this again. This is okay. So here's there's an attempt to punch him, and if you do that in front of the referee, I guess you're putting it in the referee's hands. Referee clearly saw it. He was right there. Whipped out the red card. Again, maybe a little harsh, but petulant, certainly, for that young man. And the Fusion will have to try and hold a 2-goal lead now, down a man. Perhaps an opening for Boca Raton. Here's Cruz. Harb lays it off for Nojemi. Shoddy Harb. And we're going the other way. Long ball lofted forward. Daryl Gordon trying to run onto that, who's come on for the Miami Fusion. Didn't see that substitution, but must have missed a substitution a few minutes ago while all of that red card confusion is being sorted out. Daryl Gordon, a very good player. When he surges up that right side, there's almost no one like him in this NPSL Sunshine Conference. There's Contreras playing the ball towards Wilbanks, who's on a brace. Was looking for his hat trick there, muscled off by Alvarez. Oshina collects. It's 4-2, the Miami Fusion, but they're down a man now. Following a sending off just a few moments ago. There's Stanislas. Will be a throw-in. We're going to see a few substitutions. Reminder, tomorrow night, you can watch NPSL Sunshine Conference action on Sports Mesh. Miami United playing host to Beaches FC. If the Fusion hang on here, that is a very big game for Miami United. Well, they're all big games at this point in the season, but they will fall 5 points back. Really need the 3 points tomorrow night. Sports Mesh TV, your destination for NPSL Sunshine Conference action all season long. There's Cardosa, just kind of slipped there on the turf. Fitzgerald. Nojemi loses possession. Gordon gets muscled off the ball. Here's Boca coming the other way. Meneses lays it off for Contreras. Harb to Najemi. Here's Eduardo Cruz. Everybody's getting touches for Boca, but Miami will take this right now. Boca's final balls in the final third have not been terribly accurate, even when they've had a lot of time on the ball like they do now. Here's Meneses. Najemi, who is playing, it appears, in a wide position, swings the ball toward Wilbanks at the far post. Doesn't get there. And now Cardosa and Miami Fusion off to the races. Thinking about that game tomorrow night already. Here's Cardosa for the Fusion. Alvarez with an overlapping run. Alvarez with a cross. Cardosa cleared. Cardoso looking for his hat trick. He's had a couple chances. Still might get another chance or two. Here's Harb. Harb puts a cross in toward Cruz, who had made a run from a deep-lying midfield position, but Oshana is there. Good save. Good stop, I should say. Wasn't really a save. Now we're going back the other way. Boca Raton trying to set up a high press now. You can hear the communication between the players from our broadcast position. Now, of course, the Fusion have pressed high in the first half and were able to create some quick changes of possession that were worthwhile for them. Now Boca Raton wins possession, and a foul in midfield. Meneses seems to have been a bit of a punching bag these last few minutes, has been taken down. Meneses is quick on the ball, and that's unfortunately what happens to those short, quick players often. You see that in the Premier League with David Silva. Manchester City often fouled in those sorts of situations because he's quick with his feet. Low center of gravity. Boca will get it back. Referee's going to reset this. Pena tried to play clear. There's Pena. Now getting it to Cruz, and we're underway again. Contreras. Here's Fitzgerald. Wilbanks cuts inside. It's at the feet of Contreras, but he's dispossessed. And it's going the other way. Miami United in possession, looking to break quickly. And the flag was up. So Boca Raton will have a free kick. If they're going to get back into this game, they're going to need a goal pretty quickly here. We've got about 5 minutes and change left, and whatever second half stoppage time the referee deems we need to play with. So realistically, about 8 minutes for Boca Raton to rescue 2 goals. Here's Meneses again. He's had an impact since coming on. Second half sub. Harb. Najemi to Cruz. Here's Wilbanks. Chance for a hat trick. Just wide. Tried to settle that, but Wilbanks is getting himself into dangerous spaces still this late in the game. Nice little chip from Eduardo Cruz. Good first touch from Wilbanks. Oshana closed off the angle well. That was a tough one, but would have liked to have put that on target. So Justin Wilbanks' opportunity for a hat trick and maybe Boca Raton FC's opportunity to get back into this game go awry. But Boca now pressing high. Gordon having some trouble getting it out of there, and it will be Miami Fusion ball. We're going the other way again. And Meneses is taken down yet again. So you have to think Boca Raton's best chance to get back into this game might have just gone awry. Great ball from Eduardo Cruz, but here's Wilbanks again. Young man just keeps running. And somehow has kept possession against two Miami defenders and wins a throw-in. Wilbanks on a brace, had a chance for a hat trick, was played in beautifully by Eduardo Cruz, but could not direct his shot on target. Had a good first touch, did everything right except for the finish. Pena plays it to Contreras. Contreras back to Fitzgerald, who's going to try and put a cross in. Now Fitzgerald instead attempts to blow by the defender and wins a corner for Boca Raton. So this game isn't done yet. Nice job there by Jason Fitzgerald, the right back from Boca Raton, winning a corner. We've won forward. Here's Pena. It's on his left foot. Trying to play the ball over to Eduardo Cruz. Meneses wins it. But Oceanot eventually recovers the ball, and Oceanot long ball forward. I think Miami would want to keep the ball a little better now. And now a foul spin card called, and it's a red card. Gabriel Bravo is sent off for that. Once again, I'm not sure about that. I haven't been sure about either red card in this game. But I guess it evens out as both sides have had a man sent off. See, Bravo wins the ball. Well, can't flail. Again, the referee's standing right there. You can't use your elbow that way. So Bravo will be sent off in the 89th minute. And now we're playing 10v10. Let's watch that again. Bravo. Yeah, maybe a little bit of play acting there, but still. Referees in the area, and we will finish this matchup 10v10. And with all of these stoppages, you would think we're going to have a chunk of stoppage time. Now at Shearson, the Boca Raton manager is going to have to change things up a bit because he had gone to a three-man back line, including Bravo. Now he's going to be down to a two-man back line. You would think he would have to drop someone further back there. Free kick, and again high, and doesn't threaten Tavares' goalkeeper position. We're in the 90th minute on Sports Match, NPSL Sunshine Conference action. The conference leading Miami Fusion, seeing out a 4-2 scoreline here against Boca Raton FC. If they win, they'll go 5 points clear, at least temporarily, atop the NPSL Sunshine Conference. Victor Cardoso, the story of the NPSL Sunshine Conference season, with 2 more goals tonight, 7 goals in 6 games for that young man for Miami Fusion. Justin Wilbanks for Boca Raton has a brace as well. Almost had a hat trick a moment ago. Did everything right except for the final finish. Perfect run, great first touch. His teammate Eduardo Cruz had played him in beautifully, one-on-one with the keeper, but wasn't able to apply the finish. Now that'll be a foul and a free kick for Boca Raton as we're in second half stoppage time. We don't have a subs board at this field, so I'm not aware of how much stoppage time we're going to have. Unfortunately, not able to bring that to you on our broadcast today. I'm going to assume it's going to be about 4 minutes with all the stoppages we had. And we're having some stoppages also now in additional time. Into the second minute of second half stoppage time with Miami leading 4-2. Daniel Pena, strong left foot. He's going to look to take this. Pena into the wall. Ball's dangerously bouncing around in the area. Wilbanks looking for his hat trick, but Oshina makes the save. Wilbanks close there to the hat trick. That was a clever little header from him. But unfortunately for Boca, unfortunately for Miami, the keeper was well positioned. Nojemi. Not quite sure where that pass was going from Shadi Harb. And now Miami can either take the air out of the ball and go to the corner or look for a fifth. Let's see what they decide to do. They're going to take the air out of the ball. Here's Alvarez playing it back. This is smart football here from Miami. Suazo plays it back. Now it's going to go all the way back to the keeper, Oshina. That's smart. See this game out. Take your 3 points. Enjoy another night atop the NPSL Sunshine Conference. Be 5 points clear for at least one night. And now Wilbanks is all the way back defensively. Has to commit a foul. Professional foul there from the young man who's been absolutely fantastic tonight for Boca Raton FC, Justin Wilbanks. But too little, too late now in terms of slowing down this pace. So Alvarez will get us restarted for the Fusion. Probably play a short ball. No, instead he plays a ball, an in-swinger towards the goal. But another offside call. Leo Tavares gets us restarted for Boca Raton. Here's Eduardo Cruz. He's had a solid game for Boca Raton in central midfield. Cruz plays it forward. Meneses. There'll be a throw-in. Daryl Gordon and the Miami Fusion looking just to see this one out now. Only probably a matter of 30 seconds or so before the official's whistle blows for full time. Contreras. Alvarez going the other way. Funny little hop there on the turf. This is as far as turf surface goes, this is probably pretty good. But here's Ramirez on the ball. Ramirez looking for a goal, doesn't need one, obviously. Here's Alvarez. It's going to fall to Ramirez, who keeps it alive for Miami. Maybe get a fifth here. Or just play it out, take your 3 points, and go home. Yeah, they're going to play it back to Oshina now. And there can't be much time remaining here. Suazo. Shares a name, of course, with the great David Suazo, former Honduran international Inter Milan player, among others. There's Alvarez. And another offside. So it looks like we're going to play at least a full 5 minutes of stoppage time. Remember, we had some stoppages in stoppage time, in additional time. Fitzgerald. To Harb. Harb is fouled. We're 10v10. There's a lot of space. Would have probably been fun to see 10v10 for a long period of time. There's the flick on. Pena has a heavy touch and it goes back to Miami. That was probably Boca's last chance. Tavares makes the save. His third of the night. But it stays with Miami. And that goes just wide. Another bad giveaway by Boca Raton. And we're approaching the beginning of our 7th minute of stoppage time. Again, there's been a lot of stoppages in additional time. So we're into the 7th minute of second half stoppage time. 4-2 Miami continuing to lead. They're trying to see this one out over Boca Raton. Go home with a 5-point cushion atop the NPSL Sunshine Conference, at least for one night. Here's Najemi. Plays it forward towards Shadi Harb, who commits a foul, and that's going to be it. Miami Fusion, 5 points clear now atop the NPSL Sunshine Conference with a 4-2 win over Boca Raton FC. A brace from Victor Cardoso. He has 7 goals in 6 games this season for Miami. For Boca, a brace from Justin Wilbanks. So once again, thank you for joining us on Sports Mesh TV. We will be back with you tomorrow for NPSL Sunshine Conference action between Miami United and Beaches FC at 7 p.m. That is a critical game now for Miami United as they have fallen 5 points behind the Miami Fusion in NPSL Sunshine Conference play. For Boca Raton, they will play Miami United next week in a match that is being dubbed the NPSL Game of the Week, and we will have that for you next Saturday night here on Sports Mesh. You can see the players walking off. And that should be it for us.
Yeah, you can sign off.
That's it for me tonight. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kartik Krishnaiyer. For all of us at Sports Mesh TV, thanks again for joining us. Tomorrow night, Miami United playing host to Beaches FC from Ted Hendricks Stadium, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, our final score tonight, Miami Fusion 4, Boca Raton FC 2. We'll see you next time on Sports Mesh.
Victor Cardoso from Miami Fusion, and I'm a forward. Yeah, the things are happening, you know. I think the team effort, you know, everybody's working hard, and it doesn't really matter who scored the goals, but I'm happy to be scoring those goals. I think that this victory just help us build confidence, you know, and then it's just helping us to fight more and work hard towards the ultimate goal, that is to win the championship. So I think that's what the people can expect from us, you know. We're coming hard and we won the championship. Definitely. Yeah, it's not easy to play 2 games back to back like this. Usually expect at least 3 to 4 days to rest. Some teams got a full week, but we can't choose the days we play, so we just gotta work hard. You know, we have a great team. The guys coming out of the bench are helping out a lot too. So I think this is what I said in the beginning, is that team effort. No, it's great. It's a great initiative. You know, we like that you guys are doing all this work and covering all the games. You know, it doesn't just help us to showcase ourselves for other people. You know. But it's great. It's great to have this community support, and then just to help us show to other people who can do and can play. All right, thank you.
Appreciate it. Good job. How long you got to wear that for?
4 more weeks.
4 more? Wow.
Yeah, it's a 12-week